Good morning, friends. How are you today? You hanging in there? I'm going to give you a moment easy for me to say. I'll give you a moment to grab your morning beverage and let's connect really quick. We didn't get a chance to yesterday due to a scheduling conflict, so I just wanted to pop on today for a couple minutes and just do a check in, see where everybody's at this morning, and hope you're feeling okay. And just take a moment to, take a breather together, right? It's a busy month. There's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of things going on. And I think, yeah, sometimes we just got to take a moment and breathe and check in. So say hi in the comments as you join this morning. And let me know how you're doing. Otherwise, it's just going to be me talking to myself, which, is not completely impossible. Yeah, there we go. All these things are popping up on the screen. Hi, how are you? What's new in your world? What's going on? I don't have a whole lot. Usually, I feel like there's always so many things that I'm like, oh, I feel like we should talk about this today, or I feel like this is kind of calling me today. And I don't really have that pull per se today, other than I just feel like the world feels swirly, right? There's a lot of pieces going on. And I felt it this morning too. I've had moments where I felt, when you get thinking about things, and probably it even comes like when you drive past the gas station, and depending on where you are in the world, gas has went up in a couple of different locations. So in southern Alberta, I know in the city of Calgary, and it's starting to filter into the communities outside of, is gas prices have jumped up overnight. So, Kevin, yeah, sometimes we need a simple check in. How are you, my friend? So, watching the gas jump up from, I think it was 179 yesterday to 190 something today, right? You have this moment where you're driving by where that makes you feel a number of emotions. One, we can just feel really pissed off immediately, right? Because we live in a province where this is all like we have the resources for this. So why do we pay so much? But we know that in other provinces across the country, people are paying more than we are. However, if we're just focused on our own moment of going past that pump, wherever you are, right? You feel mad that the price has jumped up. You feel concerns with maybe plans that you've had for the summer, and you're wondering a little bit about if you're going to drive that far, if you're going to do that thing, what does that look like? Does that change that summer plan? Three, you might feel a slight bit of panic in a moment of just like the continued costs of gas and groceries and all of the different things, right? And you have this moment when you're driving and you feel that tension, you feel that bit of anxiety, you feel that little bit of stress hit you. And I'm in the same boat as you, and your mind, right? Our minds are such creatively powerful beings, our minds, and sometimes it works in our favor and sometimes you feel like it's working against you, right? And your mind just starts to think about those things, and your heart rate starts to increase a little bit, and you feel that little bit of panic, that little bit of stress, that little peace. And what I was feeling this morning in that is just like, okay, how do I slow my roll on that so it doesn't continue to check in for the rest of the things of the day? Does that make sense? Because when we hit that heightened place, right? It's that flight or flight mode. That's when our bodies start to stay in that state of heightenedness is the word I'm going to use today. I don't have the words today. So we have to find ways, which can be breathing, which can be meditating, which can be, I don't know, taking a bath, whatever it looks like for you, in bringing that back down for a minute so it doesn't keep rolling through the day. And I guess that's what was on my mind this morning is I'm like, who else? So if you feel comfortable in sharing, Are you having some of those moments over the last little bit where you have a moment where you're like, okay, what am I going to do about that? And what does that look like? What does that feel like? How are you doing with that really? And how can we get through those moments together? Because it's when I think traditionally people in those things is your reactions can be they can be volatile, they could be outlashing, but they can also really be where you retract, where you retreat, where you internalize, where you bring it in, where you don't say things out loud and then they start to fester or grow, or your mind plays those tricks with you that gives you the things that are not truths, right? Sometimes minds can be so powerful in sharing the things with us that are not truth. And so checking in with each other, I think, is even more important as we move forward because sometimes you need someone to be like, okay, let's breathe. And okay, say it out loud. Is that really truth? Is it really? Or is it a scenario that that is just foundationally coming out of you, right? You with me on that? So that's what I was feeling today, but don't really have any particular topic in mind that we wanted to dive into. So would love to hear from you on just how you're feeling today, like how you're really doing. Are you feeling good? I mean, we're getting rain in my neck of the woods where I live, which was so incredibly needed for our farmers. If we would like to get hay crops, if we would like to get anything this year, that moisture is so needed. Things have turned green, so beautifully green over the last few days with that little bit of rain, and the smell of things like lilacs and different things. That's right. God, I love those things. Um, those little pieces are swirling about us right now, right? So how do we take some moment to ground in that? What does that look like? Uh, steal, I like to say borrow some lilacs from somewhere in your community if you don't have one. Even just take one and put it in some water in the house. Just it's a bringing a piece of nature indoors. The smell of that is so incredible, and you really stop yourself to breathe and to do that moment. So I guess that's what I was thinking about today is just wanted to do a quick check-in of how you're really doing. So Kevin, you said earlier, sometimes, yeah, you just need a simple check-in. So Kevin, good morning. I see you and I hope you have an amazing day. Pamela, good morning. I see you. I hope you have an amazing day. Nadine, good morning. I see you and I hope you have a great day. And if you need something more from a check-in than that, please share in the comments. But that's really just what I was feeling. And I was listening to the radio driving Caden to school this morning, and people are talking about the gas prices, and people are talking about how are we going to save money over the next few months, right? People are thinking about not driving as much, maybe not taking those vacations. Some of the other things on the list were just budgeting your groceries, doing different pieces, right? And that feels like it's such an interesting space because I think that coming out of the pandemic, people want to run, people want to be free, people want to go and do the things that they hadn't been able to do. People want to go out and do those things. And then you're hit with these inflation costs that kind of stop you in your tracks for a moment. And so, not wanting to give up the freedom, the things, the feeling, the run, the go, the experiences, how do we make that all work? And how are you feeling about that? And so, sometimes it's just saying some shit out loud, right? Sometimes we just got to say it out loud. Because if we allow our thoughts to lead the way, thoughts could go all over the place. Think of how many thoughts you have in a day. And I think there's math behind how many thoughts you actually have per day, per second, per whatever. And it's a lot. So we don't want our thoughts to control where we go next. We don't want emotions being attached to thoughts, fears, scenarios, or outcomes to lead the way. We we have to internalize that a little bit And it sounds probably kind of hokey to say have your heart lead the way, but if you just stop and breathe for a moment and check in with yourself, you're going to know those next steps, and you're going to know that it's all going to be okay, and you're going to know that everything is figure outable, and you're going to know that we can get through it. No matter how, I'm going to say fluxy, because I can make up words if I want to, how fluxy that feels. I don't know if that helps you today. I don't know if that helps me today, but that was the thought process I was having this morning. So I hope you are well. I hope that is feeling good. Feel free to share in the comments if you feel called to do so, and just kind of where you're at, what you're feeling, what's going on in your world. Let's connect in with each other. If you're catching this video later and not live, please still take a moment to type in the comments and just do a hello or a check-in or a how you're feeling about things, because it allows you to still have that connection piece. And friends, I'll preach it till the end of time in how important connection is to get us through our moments in life. So, taking just a quick moment to connect with you today. And we will be back at our regular time tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Kelly, how are you? How's the tooth? I know you didn't have a very good sleep last night. I hope you are well. Yeah, I creep your social medias, everybody. All y'all who come hang out, I check out on you once in a while just to make sure. So I hope you're feeling better today. And again, like I said, we'll be back at our regular time at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I just wanted to take a moment because we didn't get a chance to connect yesterday, just to say hi, just to let you know I think you're amazing, and we will connect in more. Yeah, it's just horrible going back to bed. Nothing. Back pain and teeth pain, honestly, I feel like are the worst two pains. I mean, I don't really like pain at all, but I'm just gonna say um, that. I'm just gonna say that. Like Kevin said, yeah, we're keeping it simple today. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate that. But yeah, just here to remind you, we got this, and we're gonna roller coaster some things for a little bit, I think, as our world continues to change. But just remember, you're not on that roller coaster alone. You are not at all alone in this process, and we are going to get through this together all the time. All the time. Okay, I'm going to smell these lilacs again for you. I wish you could smell them through the screen. Okay, now before you sign off, I just want you to drop your shoulders for a moment, and I want you to take a big, long, deep breath in through your nose. Exhale and let it out with a big sigh through your mouth. One more before you go. Okay, that simple task lowers all the things. And you can do that as many damn times a day you want. Friends, you got this. And I will see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.